Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kristen Fagan. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. This is
Have you rested up from Customer Appreciation Week last week?
yes. Oh my gosh, on Monday's video this week, I was like, I'm happy to be here, but I'm really slow moving right now. This whole video thing.
For those of you who weren't aware, we did 15 videos last week. And Kristen set all of them up and hosted a good portion of them. And then I hosted the last half of them. And it was wonderful. It was so much fun. We were with 11 or 12 of our favorite companies that sell Softflex beading wire or use it in their kits. So it was really fantastic. You can find all the videos for replay on our Softflex Company YouTube channel, which has been doing so well. I'm so proud of our channel. It's been
Yeah.
growing leaps and bounds, and hopefully you'll click subscribe while you're there as well and give it a little look around. But there's a
It's
whole playlist.
a good chugging machine over there right now. I feel like we're in a good stride. And then yeah, like Sara said, there's a whole playlist for all of the videos. So it's really easy to go back and rewatch anything, or if you didn't catch any of them at all, you can watch the whole playlist and catch up on all of the fun we had last week. So many different techniques, all using Softflex beading wire or craft wire or a combination of both, and lots of things that were just like, whoa, this is super cool.
Good morning, Maria and Rosalinda and Pam. Good morning, everyone. So we're on extra early this morning. This is kind of unusual for us, as you can tell. Oh, we have matching cups.
We do.
Picked our
I got the Softflex Company one. Yeah.
today. I was like, it was in the back of my cabinet, and I hadn't seen it for a while. And I was
Yeah.
like, where is that cup?
I know. It just kind of jumped out when I was picking my things this morning. It was like right there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the best one to use.
Well, speaking of Customer Appreciation Week, I also have found this week to be Staff Appreciation Week because we had so many beautiful orders and everybody was so busy last week making it all come together. So I've been highly appreciative of the fantastic team we have at Soulflex Company, which most of them are featured on this mug.
Yes. Yes. We did this not last year for our first year of Customer Appreciation Week. We did a mug kind of like this, and we did this mug when Janet retired, which was just shortly before we did the Customer Appreciation Week. It kind of gave Sara the idea to do that with all of our presenters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my pandemic mug. This is the team of folks that were working at Softflex in 2020 when the pandemic happened. And when you go through a situation like that, I think that's like a group of people that you really sort of value and hold close. So, and Janet was the first to retire from that group. So I did the mug for her and then for everyone. So we could all kind of remember to have each other's backs, you know.
Oh, Marisol says, happy Thursday. I've been missing the lives with a new job. I was wondering where you've been, Marisol. Well, I'm glad you're here this morning.
Congratulations on the new job.
Yeah.
Even if it's getting in your way to be around for beads. So today we're taking over the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group. So you can search for it in the group section if you're not already a member. And it's a huge group. It's coming up on 12,000 members, which is fantastic. Invite your friends. We have a big event coming. It is our third annual Fall Fest.
Whoa. So because Fall Fest was the first one originally, right?
The third one, yeah.
We're kicking off the
very first event as a group. And this will be our third one coming up. at the end of October. I think it's like the 22nd and 23rd. Does that sound right, Kristen?
Mm-hmm. It does. Yep.
Yeah.
Preview on the 21st. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
leading up to that, all of the members get to take over the group. And today is our takeover. And we decided to make it a very spooky takeover. So I plan on, I love all your effects.
I'm doing the takeover boogie. That's the takeover boogie.
Yeah, it's so fun. Plan on lots of great Halloween projects throughout the day. I believe we have a giveaway that possibly posted first thing this morning.
Definitely, yes. We've already had a couple of posts in the group this morning for sure. So be sure to go and check those out. The giveaway was the first one of the day. And we're giving away one of our customer appreciation swag bags full of some mystery goodies, in addition to being just a really cool bag. I love this thing. And you have to share with us some of your Halloween jewelry. So photos of anything you've created
You can
in the
make something
past.
today and post a picture of it into the comments on that post. Or you can pick something from the past that you just happen to have on your phone or computer that you would like to share with us. And we will pick a winner. I believe we're letting it run through the weekends.
Yeah,
And
the plan is Sunday.
Sunday morning.
Right. So Sunday morning. So go ahead. If you haven't made any Halloween jewelry, you have time to enter between now and...
Oh, Marisol got her swag bag and she absolutely loves it. I love that.
Yay!
Robin, yes, that is Mr. Thomas in the background helping out with the links and just generally being his silly self, I'm sure. He is here. He is here for us as well. Yeah, so today's Coffee and Craftwire, we do this only for Great Beat Extravaganza takeovers. It is something we started right at the beginning of takeovers and something we've kept moving forward. It's a day to focus on our Softflex craft wire, which is a wire that you can make into a shape and it will retain that shape. And it's really fun. It comes from gauges 16 gauge all the way to 28 gauge. And it can be really fun at holiday times because you can make all sorts of really cool shapes with it and do really cool projects like what Kristen's working on there, which is a spider web. How cool is that?
Getting spooky. Yeah, I have my spider jewelry necklace on that I made last year during our trick or treat jewelry making party. We have another one coming up. You can find the details over at softflexcompany.com for that. But I have a spider necklace I made because I like to dress up as a spider queen every year. And so I need some earrings to match. So I did a little search and I found this great spider web design from our friend Abby from the Beat Place on her YouTube channel. And so this morning I started to kind of whip it up and I'm going to share it with you all today. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I started making maybe sort of a ghost shape. And then I was thinking about seed beading it in with the new Rolla beads to see what would happen. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. But I got it out and we'll give it a try and see what happens. I also have some other Halloween things here that I wanted to show you. So let's do that first. And then we'll get moving with some brand projects. Okay, so here's some things I was working on yesterday. I'll be posting this Instagram reel later today. I love how the black Softflex craft wire will intermix with the black bead so beautifully.
Yeah, it's nice because it just sort of disappears and it just really
It
Looks well.
accentuates it. Yeah, so I made these cute little spider web earrings using a nice big bead from one of our bead strands that you can find on the Softflex Company website. And the rest of the beads from that strand went into this beautiful piece that I've been working on. We have some brand new ceramics in the shop, including this fantastic skeleton. And
Ooh,
so
I like that guy.
I
Wow.
know he's so good, and he's front and back.
I haven't seen these in person yet.
They're really
Oh,
cool.
I love the back.
I know. Jack, my son wants to be a skeleton this year, so I've been waiting to show these to him when I don't need them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, then when it's time that he can have one. Yeah.
Right, so he can have one. But I was thinking how fun that would be in this like really pretty, like super sparkly necklace. I like the juxtaposition. Same with the earrings I have on right now. I made these last year. And I love how they're so pretty and sparkly. And then you look closer and you're like, ooh,
That's spooky.
spooky. So I was playing with that yesterday. And then I also did a double up of the Tiara clasp charms. I chose the beautiful celestial pendant, and on the moon side, it has a sun side too, but on the moon side, and then I just threw a little witch on top. This is a really nice one because you can deconstruct it after Halloween and change it out to just be the moon or the star and just take that witch right off. So it can be one of those earrings that you can make Halloween and then sort of let Halloween go after. Another option is we have these new little zombie charms, which could look really cute with the moon too.
I think those are pretty fun.
They're really cool. And I think
where are the Walking Dead fans, right? They probably would be way into those.
Totally. My kids found some sort of zombie show on Disney Plus, but they're good zombies. They keep talking about how there's these good zombies, and I'm like, is there such a thing?
They're like, listen, these are good zombies. I'm just making sure you know.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Exist.
I wouldn't trust a zombie if I were you. That's my life tip for the day, kids. Go have fun. I also made this last week. I made this off screen. So I thought I would show it to you because it quickly became one of my favorite bracelets that I have worn all week long.
I love the color. That's a great color.
Yeah, it's that new Pantone color mix that we have on our website. This is the Cafe Caramel. And it's mixed with some other beads as well, like our beautiful gold Rolla beads. And then look at that great little thistle button, which you can find
so cute.
All of the new Tiara cast parts, not all, but most of the new Tiara cast parts from their Woodland collection on our website now, including this great little thistle. And I did it in blue. The blue one I did on screen at the after party. I like the blue one too.
Yeah, those are pretty. Those are like pearly beads in there. They almost look like
they are like faux pearls. Yeah.
Yeah. Neat.
I feel like those are in the midnight. Really pretty, lots of fun. And then
I should be getting my beads soon. Everyone in the office has been so busy. So I was like, don't worry about it, but I'll need them I should probably have all my new stuff by Monday.
Oh, exciting.
I know.
And this was another bracelet that I made last week. So pretty.
That's really pretty.
Components.
I love those
all
colors.
These components are available still on our website, softflexcompany.com. Okay. That's enough show and tell, I think. Oh, we do have some new Halloween items. If you didn't see them yet, they went up this week.
I like that one. I like that owl.
I think these are James's favorite.
Those remind me of like way 70s, like total, like, you know, how owls used to be in everyone's home, like the owl clock and the owl cookie jar. I feel like
Oh,
that's what that one looks like, that totally.
yeah. My grandmother's owl cookie jar, I think, looked more like this one.
Mm.
My cousin ended up getting it, and I was so sad because I loved that cookie jar.
Oh, well, now you can make some jewelry to remind you. That one
I
feels
know.
very fall because of the, you know, the orangey tones, whereas the other one's like totally retro.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Oh,
these
the
ones are a little more
jack-o'-lantern.
subdued. They're not overtly owl, so you can intermix those in, and they're
Yeah,
super cute too.
very cute. And that one runs top to bottom, which is different, right?
Yep, these ones run from the side. This one's top to bottom as well.
Okay, I don't think I saw that one on the photograph for the top, for the hole on that one.
And then look at the little ghosties.
Oh my gosh. That is really cute. I mean, really cute.
So cute.
Like, so cute.
Really, really cute. All right, I'm going to play. I've never done this project before, so bear with me. Let me find some places to put things. I started out with the 18 gauge. Kristen's already going, so let's go over there.
Okay.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mine and then see if I can replicate it.
So here's my little first example. I'm going to just get to this point again, and I think I might add some beads around these larger spokes, but I'm not going to do that just yet.
Who inspired this design first and foremost?
What inspired it?
Yeah, who?
Oh, Abby from the Bead Place.
Yeah, let's get that part out.
Oh, I said that already, but I'll say it again. Yeah. I said it when we were just showing it earlier.
Oh, okay.
But I will give Abby the credit again because
Yay,
Abby's the
Abby.
best. Yay, Abby. So yeah, our friend Abby over at the Bead Place, I found a video that she did quite a while ago on her YouTube channel for this type of design. And since I'm always adding to my Spider Queen costume, I needed some earrings to go with my necklace. And I thought webs would be perfect. So thanks, Abby Berta, the Bead Place. You're always inspiring me. So here I've got some of our craft wire non-tarnished silver in 22 gauge. And that'll be like the base wires. Those are the 3 spokes well, 6 spokes actually. 3 strands with 6 spokes. And I have 4 inches of each. So you cut 3 4-inch strands of the 22 gauge craft wire. And then for the wrapping, for the webbing part, you're going to use 26 gauge non-tarnished silver. And I've got 50 inches of that. So a really long strand here of that. And that's really nice and soft and easy to wrap with. So the first thing you're going to do is take your 3 4-inch strands of the 22 gauge wire and gather them together. And then you'll take your 26 gauge wrapping wire and you'll just kind of put it over perpendicular around about the middle. It doesn't have to be totally perfect because as you see, there's a lot of extra wire here. And then I'm going to take the longer side and just wrap it around a handful of times, 3, 4, maybe 5 times, just to kind of gather up those wires. And then this shorter strand, I can go ahead and trim. Trim and then tuck, give it a nice squeeze. I'm also just going to squeeze these little wires I wrapped together. And you can still move them right now. So if you kind of got uncentered, you can move it up a little bit. And now we're going to take these and fan them out. so that you've got, move those beads out of my way here, so that you've got 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top, just like so, and kind of get them somewhat even. So here's where we're at right now. This is our long wrapping strand. So now we're just going to start with the wire that's closest to that wrapping strand, and we're going to go under it, and then we're going to go over the one next to it, and then under the one next to that. And when I say under, I just mean under that particular wire, and then over, and then under, and then over, and we're kind of back to where we started. So we made a circle going over and under all of those larger spokes. I'm going to do that again. Under, over, under, over, under, over. I think I did it. Yeah, it looks like I went around 3 times on this first example. So I will go to where I started and do 3 passes all the way around, going under and then over. So now that I'm back to where I started and I've went around 3 times, I'm now going to take this wire and I'm going to wrap it, loop it right around that spoke, and then move to the next one. Kind of push it down a little bit and move to the next one and do the same thing. And I went, how did I do that first one? I went around the back of it. So I want to do that every time. So I'm going to start from the back, wrap it around the spoke, push it down towards the center, and then move to the next one. Start from the back, wrap around the spoke, and then move to my next one. And that's all I do the whole rest of the way until I use up all of this wrapping wire. And you could leave a little space because you don't always have to push it totally down, because a spider web is going to be, you know, a natural made thing. So it doesn't have to be like in perfect spacing between each one. And you see how that's coming together? And I'm just doing the same thing every single time. I'm going around the back, wrapping it around the spoke, and then moving to the next one.
It's so easy. It looks way harder.
Right? It's really easy. It came together so quickly too. Right before our video, I was like, all right, let's give this a try.
Yeah. Started it and I'm almost done.
Yeah. I was like, oh, let's make sure I have an example.
Like that.
But pretty fun. And I can see how you could take this idea and make them bigger or smaller. Like if you wanted a really large pendant, you just would need more of your wrapping wire to make this even bigger. Or if you wanted to make some to hang somewhere, like a decoration, you could totally do that too by just making the spokes longer and using more of the wrapping wire.
In honor of our takeover day and coffee and craft wire, we are doing 25% off on all of our craft wire at
it's 20% off, Sarah.
Oh, 20%, sorry.
It's always a good thing I'm here.
I know. No, that's why I always ask you to be here. have a ton in my head usually.
I know. And we decide on these things in advance, and then I kind of get them going. So it's hard to remember.
20% off. So from 16 gauge, we have square wire. We have maybe some half round left. I don't know if that was completely closed out.
No, we do have half rounds left. Yeah. I looked today. I looked when I was doing the email. We have some half round. We have some square. I think we're out of stock on the copper 16 gauge, but we do have some of the gold and the silver.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Well, let me see.
So what you doing?
Yeah, let me see if you guys think my ghost is working or not.
Marisol says, Sara said 25. Gotta honor that. She's always creating more work for me, Marisol.
You little pot stir, you. Hey, Lois.
He's stirring the cauldron.
Yes, exactly. So I made this shape on the wig jig, and I can show you guys how to do that. You can make your own ghostly shape however you want. That's so the great thing about the wig jig is you can move the pegs around and decide how you want to do it. But I was kind of working on seed beading it now using the 26 gauge. And then I had those fantastic new rolla beads. So I thought I would try those out. So let me show you how to put this on, and then we'll go back to the beginning and make another ghost shape. So I'm just wrapping around the outside of my 18 gauge wire. And I just did like, I don't know, 3 or 4 wraps. And then what I've been doing to mitigate having a wire on the back, but have all the beads kind of sitting in the same position, is I've been taking my wire and stringing it back through the beads. And then having it come out below this wire so that I can then wrap the beads over the top. And that way it all kind of stays together on the same wavelength here.
So if you didn't do that, would you feel like some of the beads kind of push towards the front and some push towards the back?
Yeah, some of the beads would wrap on the back side and some would wrap on the front side. I don't think it would matter with the size bead as much, but it does kind of matter when you have little beads. It can be kind of annoying. So I usually, what I do end up doing, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What I usually end up doing is I'll wrap just a straight wire back behind it to give it a backing. But I was thinking since the beads are so big this time, I just didn't need to really do that. I
love that you added the eyes.
I know. And I'm going to do the mouth next, I think.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
I love the creativity you can have with the wig jigs, especially for holiday making. It can be just so much fun to play with them. And
Sara's got a pretty big playlist of holiday ideas with the wig jig.
I do. Yeah. Every year I'm like, ooh, what can I make this year? That's new and fun and different. So I think I'll do 3. Let's see how we're going to fit our mouth in here.
Terry was saying that she's wig jig challenge. The pegs always take off for the hills at any sign of resistance. I wondered if you are moving the
is it
jig.
An actual wig jig? That's my first question. Sometimes there's other kinds.
True.
They don't work as well. This is a actual wig jig. Let's see, and then I'll show you some tricks. Now, it's not going to work as well unless I pull my ghost out a little bit. That's the only difficulty with a bigger seed bead is it takes up quite a bit of space. You got to find the right place for it to fit. I might have to go with just eyes.
I think just eyes is pretty cute.
It is pretty cute. I agree.
Terry says, yes, she has both a metal one and a plastic one. It seems the pegs don't want to stay in.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
the wig jig.
Yeah, those are both not actual wig jigs. It's a brand. And the problem, like with the metal pegs, is the material is so smooth, the pegs slide really easily. And the problem with the plastic pegs is when you pull on the pegs enough, the holes get bigger because the plastic stretches and then the pegs slide out, unfortunately. So the wig jig is made out of the same material as basically an airplane window. It's a really beautiful clear acrylic. And when they made it, they patented it under this material. So they're the only company that makes it out of this really beautiful but very very strong material. And then the pegs sit pretty deep inside of it. So it's a lot easier to use without those pegs sliding around. They really fit in there really nicely. So I bet you that is the biggest problem. It's just the materials that the jigs that you have on hand are made out of.
I'm going to have to scoot along. I have a plumber that just arrived for my kitchen sink. Okay. So I'm going to scoot and I will come back if I can. Sure. Otherwise. All right.
All right. We'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Now you guys are stuck with just me and my ghostly creation here. Okay, so I'm just going right back through those rolla beads again. I'm just doing this one last pass and then we'll make the ghost on the jig. We, for years, had the owner of Wig Jig would come to our trade show booths. His name was Gary, is Gary. He's still around. He just doesn't own Wig Jig anymore. He's a very good friend of the owners of Softflex, and he would just do incredible projects with this jig. But his mother was the very first person to come out with a jewelry making jig like this. And he spent, a good deal of time then taking that jig and making it something people could really use to make all sorts of really fun things, like a ghost. So I'm going to keep going all the way down to the bottom and then show you what it looks like. But for now, let's set that piece aside and go back to the beginning, right? Okay, so this is my jig. This is the Olympus Light. We also have a Delphi, which will make things daintier and smaller. So I could do this same exact pattern on the Delphi, and it would make it daintier and tinier. Let me grab that out so you can see what I mean by that. I know, Terry, I'm sorry. I don't like to disappoint people first thing in the morning. They do kind of look like a small light bright. Yeah, and they work in a very similar fashion. I wonder if Gary's mom, I think her name was Marjorie. I wonder if that kind of got in her head, looking at a light bright. Because a lot of times when things are invented, they come from something else, and just having that extraordinary imagination, to be able to think of what is needed and how to do it. Okay, so I don't see a lot of my little, oh, they're there. So the Delphi pegs are much smaller. And by smaller, I mean the width of them is smaller. So if I wanted to make a similar pattern to this, I might set it up in a similar fashion, like so. me do that there. If I wanted to make it daintier, then maybe I would use these smaller super pegs. You can find these on our website too. So maybe I would use this. Maybe I would go a little bit closer together than if I was going to do that. And then I'm going to get the same shape, but I would get a smaller version of it. Now this pegboard does have the bigger pegs too. So you could spread it out. You're going to need to make very smaller loops and things with this one. I'm going to stick with my bigger board today. It's just a little easier to see when I'm demonstrating. But I do like the Delphi for jewelry making because you can make smaller, littler components. Good afternoon. So glad to see all of you here. Thank you for being here with us. Terry says, next you'll tell me the earth isn't flat. Oh, Joyce, I would love to see what you would make with a wig jig. Totally. So the pegs determine the size of the loop. They do. Yeah, absolutely. If the pegs are smaller, then you can make a smaller loop. If the pegs are bigger, you want to make a loop that's going to kind of fit that peg. Okay, so I'm going to do it in silver again. Where's my 18 gauge? So this is our Softlex craft wire. This is a copper core wire. This particular one has a silver plating, and then it has a coating that keeps it that beautiful bright silver color all of the time. And it comes in lots of different gauges. When I'm doing a project like this, I probably will choose an 18 or 16 gauge, depending on how I'm going to use it. If it's just going to maybe hang somewhere, then, I'm not going to be too worried about it coming apart. If it's being worn as jewelry, you want to really think about what's going to make the most sense for it to be sturdy and be able to hold up to kidlets jumping on you and grabbing it or whatever might come. So I always kind of try to think on that when I'm choosing my gauge of wire. I'm going to just unwrap some wire here. And first things first, I always take my nylon jaw pliers and clear that out. And I think I started with just a little round. I like to use the smallest one on this multi-size looping plier. It seems to fit the peg pretty well. I also like to trim my ends so I've got a nice flush flat end to start with. And then I will just hold and turn. Mr. Gary used to call this the P loop, the very first loop that you start with. And that kind of attaches you to your wig jig board and gets you going. I'm thinking I went this direction. So I'm going to try to do the same thing. Again, this is the first time I've done this exact project. So bear with me as I make it work. So I'm working off my spool. It might be easier not to do that. It might be easier just to get just cut a loose piece. I tend to work off my spool because I waste less wire. I find that just a little bit easier. One thing that's important with jigging is you want to make sure that you are just spinning the jig and wrapping the wire. So you spin the jig and wrap the wire around and make your shape. And you can make these bottom pegs however you want them. Like I said, you can move them and change them. I liked the idea of it being a little off-centered and just feeling kind of like a real ghost. And I'm just going to pull this up to finish that shape. And here's where I'm going to go ahead and trim off my wire. I want enough wire that I can do a wrap. So I'm just going to cut it off there. And then sometimes I like to kind of just make sure I've got my shape in place. Everything's feeling good. And then I can pop it off.
I found this on the web.
Oh, thanks, iPhone. Before I do much else, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a quick work harden. So I'm going to go quiet for this part. This is a nylon slab. It's called a wire whacker, and it helps you to maintain your shape when you're working in wire. So I'm going to put this down here, and then I am going to mute myself so you don't have to listen to this loud whacking. Okay, so now I've got my fun little shape, just like ghosty over here. And now I'm going to take this, and what I often will do when I'm going to wrap around something is I'll just take my chain nose plier, kind of figure out where I'm doing that wrapping at. And then I will just do a little like 90-degree angle to sort of help hold it in the shape. And then I'm going to come in, and I think in this case, I'm just going to hold it in place and do my first wrap around. And I'm going to do a few wraps. This first one, I want to kind of tighten it down just a little bit more. When you're working in the thicker gauges of wire, they are more difficult. So just be patient. Use your pliers if you need to. I tend to use my hands for wrapping. I don't think it's the best solution. Your pliers can do the work. It's just the way I am self-taught. Just my habit. And then I did that extra long for a reason so I could kind of tuck it in. There we go. And there is my little ghost shape. And then all I need to do is grab my 26 gauge wire. I'm going to get a nice long piece, and you just wrap at the top a few rows and then just start going back and forth. Easy peasy. You can do this with so many different shapes, not just for Halloween, but for every holiday. For Valentine's Day, you can do a heart. For Christmas, you can do, oh goodness, I've done Christmas trees galore. I've done so many Christmas trees. Wreaths, you can do, oh, what other shapes? Stockings. Stockings would be really fun, where you could put lots of different colors of beads in.
Snowflakes.
Snowflake. Oh, true. Welcome back.
Thanks. They're fixing my faucet. They're replacing it downstairs. So I might have to pop off again, but I figured while he's working, I told him.
Life happens even when you're eating.
I know.
Right?
It's true.
It's true. Life is still happening. I think I'm going this way. So one more row of whites. For those who have just joined us, I just string my rolla beads on. We have these rolla beads in a lot of different colors. So I had put together kind of a cute little Halloween palette.
Ooh, that looks good.
Fun.
And you can buy these in the full bundle too to save a little bit. I think
and all these colors would be in it. Yeah.
Yeah. You get 30% off if you get the entire bundle, or you can buy them individually.
I was thinking about that candy corn one. I was like, oh, I wonder about playing with that in this bracelet and having the orange and the white and the yellow. Would be super cute.
I love that.
You can find this
Oh.
bracelet on our Instagram reels if you want to check it out.
Marisol says, life happens, but you must bead on. Yes. And Teresa says, ugly Christmas sweaters using the wig jig. Oh, that's cute.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that make the cutest ornament? Oh, I
God,
love that idea.
that's adorable.
Teresa.
If you make some of those, you have to share them with us, Teresa. Share them in the VIB studio.
I might have to make one of those. That would be so fun.
So
especially with the rolla beads and all the different colors.
Right?
God. That's hilarious. The sky is the limit. I love your imagination. So I just go around. I'm going to go a few times, and then I'm going to go back through the rolla beads. I love how they have such a big hole. They're so easy to work with.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
That's the same bead that I used between these as just a spacer bead that can hold 2 wires of soft flex. This is the gold and the silver. Isn't that funny how they can look so different in different circumstances?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really it's a great bead. It's a little bead, but it's not like teeny tiny. So it's kind of,
it's very handy. Worlds. Can be a spacer bead. It can be the whole thing here. I was using them up the back of my my necklace even. These are the black ones.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Beads on the back end to keep it kind of glossy and flashy. You can string some of those. They're very affordable.
Yeah, you get a lot in that tube.
Mm-hmm. I've gone rolla bead crazy.
I know. I know. You were like, yes, I'm in on the roller bead craze.
I'm in. Craze. Yes. Thank you, Danielle. They're fun. It's fun to have a new bead to play with.
And beads like that are always nice because they're good filler, you know, in addition to being like the main thing. So yeah, they're kind of really handy to have around.
Mm-hmm. Totally. How's your web going?
It's going good. I'm adding some beads to the around the outside.
I'm gonna go over to you. Oh, well, you're not in the stream. Can I put you back in the stream?
You could put me back in, yeah. Hey. Yeah, so I'm playing with adding some little beads. I'll probably have to get myself a little spider charm, hint, hint, at some point, and maybe add that to the bottom and do the regular beads around the side. So I'll show you all. I left this one kind of sort of where we left off a bit, and I'll show you how I got to here. And these are some fire polish beads that we have on the website. Yeah. I think they're fire polish beads.
Yeah.
Splatter beads. Yes. So they are like,
they're very spooky looking. I feel like those are great Halloween beads.
And it's kind of like a red, but also could be a little bit of a pink. It's kind of in between a pink and a red. So I thought they were red, and then I took a closer look, and I'm like, oh, you can actually get away with these being pink as well. So you can go either way. So that's what I've got there. We also have these little matte red ones that are online too that I pulled, but I decided I liked the splatter spooky one, so I went with those.
Yeah, they both look good.
So once you get to the point where you're ready to stop your web, you just take your thin wire and wrap it around one of the spokes a few times, giving yourself like a nice little messy wrap to secure it, and then you can trim off any extra you have. And using your chain nose pliers, just tuck that in. And then since this will have like a little extra, I would either probably put that as my bottom one if you wanted to, or my top one where your ear wire goes, just because it would make sense to me to have it kind of at the where a focal would be versus just off to the side. So I did mine where my ear wire goes. And so what I'll do here is just make a bend with my chain nose plier.
Tell that plumber to keep it down over there.
Right? Just throwing those tools around.
Must be an intense.
And then isn't all plumbing intense jobs? I don't know. It's definitely
right.
I feel like it's tough.
Yes. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
That was funny. I know. It's okay. So then you're going to go ahead and just make your regular loop like you normally would, right? Wrap all the way around. And I'm going to make this a wrapped loop. So I'll just keep my pliers in there and wrap this around a few times. Wrap it around one more time.
I have a question about where do you get the roll-up beads? You would find them on the Softflex company website, and the pricing is all listed right there. You can buy a single tube in whatever color you want, or you can buy the bundle, and then you get 30% off of all of the tubes.
Oh, we should probably put up our little banner down here. This way you guys can find us easily at softflexcompany.com.
Yeah, and we have tons of Halloween stuff. We've got 2 Halloween kits. The Spider Queen design kit is still available, which would match Kristen's design so well.
Right.
One of that. And then we also have our trick or treat jewelry making party kit for an event coming up that you can check out as well.
So now I'm just going to make my little loops along the edge. I decided to make them kind of stick out so that I can add my bead dangles from it. But you can also decide to kind of loop them front to back if you didn't want to add any beads and you just wanted it to be the web, or you just maybe want to loop at the bottom. You can decide all that. So I'm just going to go around and do the same thing I did for that top loop where you put your ear wire, and do it on all of these other ones. Loop it around and then wrap it. I just wrapped it around like 2 times. And you can also use your chain nose plier to straighten out your loop. And then go ahead and trim off your excess, taking care that you don't trim your webbing at all. You just want to trim off that excess from the wrapped loop. And then you'll just keep doing that all the way around. And I'll show you how I added this little bead. So I went back to my 22 gauge wire to make myself a little head pin. Just trimmed off a little piece here. It's probably about, let me measure it since I've got it here, 2.5 inches, which is way more than I'll probably even need. And then I'm going to make a tiny loop, like as the tip of my pliers. In this case, I'm just going to make a super tiny loop, little P loop. String on my bead. I just feel like when I'm trying to do this, when I string on the bead, it gives me a little leverage. So that's why I did it. And then I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to squish it. Using my chain nose pliers, I'm just going to squish it. And now it's got this flattened, it kind of reminds me of like a hairpin leg on like a mid-century modern table. Those little hairpin legs.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's just a cute little squash. And you could also do a little spiral if you wanted to at the bottom, or you could do one of those knotted head pins, whatever you want. And then I just made a simple loop, trimmed off And then you could also wrap this if you wanted to, but I decided to just do a simple loop for the dangle. And then I can open this up and attach it to one of these little loopies here. Super fun. I think that it'll be great to have like a little spider dangle from the bottom, or you can do beads all around and put a spider kind of in the web if you wanted to.
I feel like we're really upping your Spider Queen game this year.
Oh yeah, I have a whole Halloween party to go to too, so I'm excited to wear all my new spider jewelry.
Nice. Who's having a Halloween party? Just like a friend?
Yeah, one of Hudson's friends' parents that I've gotten to know, and so that'll be nice.
Is it like one of his friends that he's had since he was like really little?
No, I would say since high school probably. I don't think it was before high school.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Hudson's letting you go even. Wow.
Well, I don't think it said adults only, so I'm not sure if he goes. It might be me going.
Oh, Hudson doesn't even get to go.
He might not get, I don't know if he has an invite.
Oh,
no, I don't know. He made it sound like he'd be crashing the party, so I think he'll be there. But
funny.
But it'll be nice to be able to wear my costume out, especially now that I have so many new accessories to add to it since the last time.
How fun. I'm just finishing up one of my ghost's toes.
Cool. Do you want to switch back over? I could probably mute myself if I need to a little bit. If you're hearing a bunch of banging.
So I haven't done a bottom like this before. So I was kind of playing around. I think I'll do this side and then I'll just come back and do this side with a separate wire. And I think that'll be fine. So that was how I was going to manage that. And I was just finishing up his little toe here. Fit that
Cute.
little.
Oh my gosh. His toe.
I don't know what else you would call that body part.
Right. So cute.
I'm just gonna wrap a couple times, go back in, and then I'll finish this wire off.
You're a little off screen, just pop it in a little bit towards the middle.
There you go. It's really hard to wrap away from my face.
I hear ya.
It's like, what? Thank you for telling me. So if you have this happen where it kind of does that, undo it. And if you have some nylon jaw pliers, you can even kind of straighten it out. It'll just save you a lot of heartache if you don't let it get a little kink in it. Makes life much easier. Get that all straightened out. I'm going to go back through like I did on the other ones. And I want this to be on the bottom side. So I'm going to string through here.
Toe. Maria says toe or foot. It's adorable. Janet says it's the ragged end of the sheet bottom.
Yeah, the raggedy end of the sheet bottom. That's the part I'm doing right now.
Terry, was it Terry? Teller. Teller says it needs some glow in the dark roller beads for the ghost. Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I wonder if there's like any glow in the dark paint or something.
You know, we just used a little glow in the dark paint on our solar system model that we did for school, but I don't think I have any extra. I think I had kind of used it all, but there is glow in the dark paint. So I imagine you could probably figure something out that would work. I'm surprised Vintage hasn't come out with
something like that, right? The roller beads do have a shine to them, so it could be a little tricky, but it would be worth a shot. So
I went ahead and just did that whole bottom. If I wanted to keep on the same wire, I suppose I could wrap all the way over. I'm not going to. I'm just going to get a new fresh wire to do his other toe.
I think that would be what I would do too.
So I can just trim that there. The magic of wire. Just trim it off. I can't even see where the end is anymore. And then you just tuck if you need to, if you can find it. Tuck in the end. And then we'll do this other section. How cute is he? Oh, I love him.
He's really sweet. And he kind of reminds me of the little Pac-Man ghost. So it could be he could be even like something you could use other times of the year, like people that like to go to Comic-Con and things like that,
Oh
where
my gosh.
What
color is Pac-Man? Is Pac-Man orange or yellow?
Pac-Man he's like a yellow, I think. I think he's more yellow than orange. I was Pac-Man one year for Halloween. That was one of the costumes I was.
You were Pac-Man?
Yeah, I made the whole thing. I made it out of like styrofoam.
As an adult or as a kid?
No, as an adult. And then I had we were going to a Halloween party, and Bert doesn't really like to dress up. My husband's not into dressing up. But I was able to talk him into being a ghost. So he was a ghost, and my friend Steve was a ghost, and I was the Pac-Man.
So cute.
I spent a long time on that costume.
Kristen, what did you make it out of?
Oh, it had like a foam core, kind of like something you'd find maybe in like bedding or quilting. Sorry, it's going to get loud in here, I think.
It's okay.
And then it had felt on the front and the back of it. And then I made it with suspenders so that I just put it over my head, and it was like a big circle Pac-Man front and then a big circle Pac-Man back, So it's two pieces with a little suspender.
Oh.
It was so fun. I love that costume.
I like to see other people dressed up. I don't know. I don't know why.
I mean, I had to go to a Halloween party. So that's usually what will do it for me, is when I've got a party or something, I might do it.
Right. That's what puts you over the edge.
Right. On just a regular thing, I don't really dress up normally. But yeah.
Heather Powers had the idea that all of the Great Bead Extravaganza presenters should come to preview night in costume.
Yeah, I like that idea. I thought it was really cute.
I thought it was really cute too, but I don't particularly love to dress up, but I'm sure I could figure something out if that's what everyone wants to do.
Yeah, everyone's saying yellow. I know. I was thinking it was yellow too. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was yellow. It's kind of like, I feel like it wasn't like yeah, it's yellow, and then you've got the blue little face on there. It was like a
Pac-Man now.
I was so sad. I think I put it in the garage for safekeeping or something, storage, and it got ruined. Something got on it. I don't remember what, but I had to throw it out. And I was like, so much work. I would have wore that thing multiple years for sure.
And you're like, okay, now I have to become the Spider Queen.
Yes. Rosalinda wants to see pictures. I'll have to dig out some pictures, because that was like, that was pre like phone cameras. So I'll have to see if I can dig some out. I think I've got a couple.
Oh my gosh, how fun is that? I love seeing everybody in costumes, but I just am not a big dresser upper. The kids are dressing up as Harry Potter characters this year.
Oh, so that's cute.
I was thinking about surprising them and getting like the Professor McGonagall outfit.
Right. That would be very cool.
I don't know if everyone knows this, but the name of my private homeschool is Oehler School of Magic. And so I was like, that would be kind of a fun memory to have.
Yeah, I have a friend, my friend Erica from high school. She dresses up like to the nines every year, and she always does a family costume. And it's the
Oh.
best to see what they do, because I'm just like, their last name is Hen. So I remember one year they were like all chickens and hens, and it was hysterical.
Oh, how cute.
But she always goes all out with stuff like that. And yeah, her husband's on board for it, I guess, because he's always down for the wacky
Never
costume.
be on board for that.
Nope, mine either. He didn't even keep his ghost costume on that night. I think he only had it on like for the arrival, and then he was out of it. I'm like, where are my ghosts?
He's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I love Oehler. All right, I think I did it.
Look at that.
Today saying I can make a ghost, and I did make a ghost.
Who all here think Sara should dress up as Miss McGonagall? I think that would be really cute.
No, she's not headmistress. She is, what does she teach? Potions? I can't remember.
I always felt like she was kind of in charge.
Charms?
Shebang. I mean, she wasn't the...
No, Dumbledore's in charge of the whole
Well,
shebang.
she was like right under him, I felt like.
But yeah, the right-hand lady.
Yeah. But she did have a class, because I do remember her. I remember her being that cat, right? When the kids were coming in late or something, and she like jumped out of the cat.
Transfiguration. I feel like she might teach transfiguration.
Ah, that would make sense.
And Janet
just said it. Yep.
Yeah. You would think after reading, I read the books all myself. Now I've read most of the books, the illustrated version to the kids. You'd think I would know by now, but let's see what Penny has to say. She says, some of the places I work dressed up for Halloween, so I have a closet full of costumes. The most expensive is I have a Thing costume from the Addams family.
Oh,
that's a good one. That would probably make people just hysterically crack up, I bet. Oh, Marisol's asking, does Pac-Man change colors with the level you're on? I don't
remember that.
The beginning levels.
So. I was going to say I probably didn't get very far if he does, because I do not remember that.
How I would make a Pac-Man if I were to do that. What would that look like? He's round and he has like an open mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the tricky.
Oh, Thomas is saying, nope, Pac-Man is always yellow.
Oh, he's always yellow.
Oh, and Penny has a Professor McGonagall costume right on.
Oh,
that's cool. You're going to have to get one of those broomsticks from Trader Joe's, Sarah.
I know. We were talking about that right before, right?
We were.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said do a crescent moon shape. Oh, Elaine, I'm always all about those crescent moons. I think James has a crescent moon video on our YouTube channel that he did with I think it was a pendant, maybe a crescent moon pendant.
Oh, did he?
James has done a lot of videos. He doesn't do them anymore, but there's a good collection of James's videos on our YouTube channel. He's got some good ones. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should check out James's playlist
on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, he has to be like perfectly round, right?
He does. Do you have a big enough, because now your ghost is that size. He's got to be kind of,
as big
around
as
the same size.
Oh, well, that's a problem. I gotta get a big bottle or something.
Make a pack.
You can just do like a 90-degree angle on his mouth.
That's one of my favorite games as a kid. At the arcade, I would always play Pac-Man.
Yeah, the last place I saw it was that Mexican restaurant we used to go to.
Oh, La Fonda had that little table one, didn't they?
Pac-Man table.
You're right.
Remember that? Kristen and I worked at a bead store together, and we would go have lunch at this Mexican restaurant. I don't know if it's still there.
It's not at that location, but they did move. So they're still around. They're in Tempe now. They're in a different part of they were kind of always in Tempe. Just I always think of that as Scottsdale, I guess. But.
Oh no, I'm going to have to work on my Pac-Man skills here. Figure out how to make him out of wire.
That would be so cute. I love that idea.
Cute.
Pac-Man also has a squiggle bottom.
A squiggle bottom?
Maybe I did give him.
Ready to pull up an image.
Lois says she loves Space Invaders. Yeah, that's a good one too, Lois.
Oh, I like that one. Galactica was my favorite. Like the pew pew pew, shoot all the little things coming at you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I haven't taken the kids to an arcade or anything. So they haven't experienced that yet. One of these days we'll get to it. So look for these later today in an Instagram reel, and we will have lots of fun projects being posted throughout the day. We have a really great skeleton project that James did that we're going to repost. We have some really beautiful pumpkin earrings and pendants that are similar to my ghost, but are beautiful little pumpkins.
Oh, that's going to post right after this video. Actually, it might have posted already. I think I had that scheduled for 10 o'clock. So you can find that in the group.
Spooky season. So let's get spooky today.
We want to see your jewelry. So on the giveaway post that we posted this morning in the Great Bead Extravaganza group, make sure to share your Halloween jewelry with us.
Yeah, we want to see what you've made in the past or what you're making today. This is the best time to start creating for Halloween because you will have all your stuff ready to go for next month for any parties or things that are going to come up. As a mom, we have like a million things we do for Halloween. From the pumpkin patch to trick-or-treating downtown in our little town and trick-or-treating on actual Halloween and pumpkin carving. You can have those little things like a cute little bracelet or earrings to throw on to make you feel like you're kind of in that Halloween mood. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's always fun. Susie says, what a fun video today. Thanks, Susie.
Thank you, Susie. It's always fun when we get to be together.
I do love that we have decided, the sort of coffee and craft wire kickoff for the first year of this just keeps going because we don't always get a chance to focus on our craft wire like this. And I think I look forward to it now. It's like a tradition.
It is. I know when I last week was Customer Appreciation Week, I didn't have a lot of time to think about the takeover. But as soon as I saw our takeover was coming, I was like, ooh, coffee and craft wire. I'm excited.
Something different and fun. And I like that we went with the Halloween theme because usually our fall fest is a little later in the season and we're past Halloween. Mm-hmm. So that's why we kind of decided, hey, let's really have fun with the spooky season today on our takeover. And you'll see that throughout the day. We'll be inspiring you. And if you don't have any Halloween jewelry for the giveaway, I think you'll have some ideas by the end of today.
I think so too. I have a couple other projects on the Softflix Company Facebook page. Do we have a Halloween playlist? We should probably put it up on the main front page. Maybe Thomas can ask Damien to do that if it's not there already. But we have a really beautiful bat that I love. I made that a couple years ago. It's really pretty. And then we've got a really gorgeous spider, a Halloween or Christmas spider. You can use it for either one. That's a great project to revisit. What other things have we done? We've done so many cool Halloween projects over the years. And there's the playlist. Awesome. So look through that playlist as well and check out some of the options there to get inspired for upcoming Halloween. I know some of them are a little more outrageous or difficult to wear, like the skeleton, but they're still really fun to do just because you're doing such a mechanical engineering. It's fun to put it together and then just hang it, on your mantelpiece or somewhere special. Whereas the thing that I made today, or like these, are so much more wearable, something you can easily wear, just throw on, kind of like my earrings today. And it's just a little touch of Halloween. It's not so in your face as like a full skeleton. So there's options from A to B, from real simple to definitely a lot more complicated if you look in that Halloween section. I see Thomas is also posting, we have some Halloween blogs that you can check out using our Halloween tag, and that has a lot of options that maybe weren't even in video format from the earlier days. You can check that out as well. Janet says, I need to get some orange beading wire. That would be fun. We don't even sell an orange beading wire anymore. Our citrine got discontinued because, as you can imagine, orange beading wire isn't everyone's favorite go-to color except for this time of year. So, but I have been thinking about that and wondering, because the colors orange and yellow are also really helpful at certain points in time. So we may bring them back here or there in the later years once you guys have run out of your stock, what you have on hand. I might rerun some of the discontinued colors eventually, or a similar color. We'll see what ends up happening. But for right now, you can't get any orange soft flex, and I don't think any other companies sell any orange. Oh, Marisol said, I bought citrine beading wire from Jill Wiseman. Does she have some in stock still? That's awesome. Go get it, because that's it. There's not much left. You could totally substitute in a bronze or champagne color. And Teresa says, orange and yellow wire would be wonderful for making leaves on the wig jig. Yeah, then we would be talking craft wire. And we do have some beautiful autumn colors in craft wire. I think we have like some really like bronzes and not straight orange or straight yellow, but similar enough colors that you could probably figure out something really lovely. Hello.
I'm back. All done.
Oh, that.
He's all done. Got a new sink. It looks great.
Awesome.
So I just had to do the final look before he left. Thank you all for hanging out.
Always something.
Always something. What were you talking about?
We were just talking about some of the colors you could use for Halloween jewelry in beading wire. Someone was mentioning they should get some orange, and I was like, don't have that anymore. But I just heard Jill Wiseman has some, so if people want to go grab.
That's a good point. Yeah, some other vendors
probably still have some.
It's a great color.
Do a Google shopping search for citrine colored soft flex. I love that color.
It's kind of
really miss it this time of year.
Yeah, because it's a soft orange, which is really pretty. Like, it's not quite a burnt orange, but it can totally go to that direction if you pair it with those fall colors. It's a good, that's one I definitely do miss.
That's true. Jill is having her garage sale on Saturday. Lots of things going on in the beady world, and the Great Bead Extravaganza will have takeovers the next several weeks. You can continue to check us out, and we'll be here all day. So keep coming back to the page and refreshing and seeing what new posts we've put up. And make sure you take advantage of the 20% off on the Softflex craft wire. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Kristen?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're just the second people, second company to do the takeover. Nile with Silver Silk was yesterday, and he posted a ton of really great things about Silver Silk, so that I would go check that out.
And then we opened his pop-up shop.
He did.
Saturday?
He did.
Yeah, I feel like it may not open till Saturday, but look for the post about that as well, because I know he puts a lot of really interesting odds and ends in there.
I feel like it's there.
Okay.
So I think it might be there. Maybe he ended up doing a little sooner because of his takeover. That could be. Mm-hmm. But everyone, we're kicking it off. We had Nile and us, and then we've got takeovers for the next couple of weeks leading up to the event. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I would just like to say, every company is going to do it different. Yes. We're posting all day long because that's just kind of how Softflex rolls. When we do something, we do it. But some companies are smaller, and it may just be one or two people, and they may not have the time or the ability to do as much as we do. And some may just have things going on in life that are making them busier, or life is more difficult. So just keep your expectations floating through.
Right. Yeah, not just because we do something a certain way doesn't mean another company is going to do it. They're going to have the takeover day is really for them to decide how they want to show up, what they want to share, and how much they can actually do. So like Sara said, we're all different. So there's no formula what has to happen on takeover day. It's up for each company to do what works for them. So keep your expectations low and you will never be disappointed. And that is a great life skill. I have learned that over the years. If I really manage my expectations, I will always be more than satisfied with what's happening.
Yeah, the Great Beat Extravaganza is such an interesting thing because it's a collective group. It's like a co-op in so many ways. We each have our small bit of ownership of the group, but we all still operate individually. And so it can make it really interesting to see all the different personalities and the different ways that we all operate. So that's the lesson. Expect little and get much.
Right? Melanie says, raise of hands. Who's conquered that one?
I don't know.
I don't know if I conquered it.
No,
it's a work in progress. But it's definitely something I'm much more aware of and thoughtful of. Whenever I do feel disappointed in something, it's usually because my expectations may have been a bit unrealistic.
Look at these cutie little owls. We have a few cute little owls in the shop right now if you want to check them out. Okay, so thank you, everybody. I hope you have the very best day looking through all of our projects. Do go look for the giveaway first thing after this video. And hopefully we'll see you back again October 22nd and 23rd, preview night on the 21st for our third annual Great Beat Extravaganza Fall Fest. We are very excited. Our kit is on sale right now. You can find it on the Softflex company website. How many do we have left, Kristen? Do you know about how sold out we are?
I think we were about 55% sold out yesterday when I looked, but I didn't look this morning at all.
So we're a little bit over half sold out on our kit. So if you want to make with us in a few weeks for the big event, make sure you go grab your kit as soon as possible. And that way we'll be able to make together. And we'll have new items that week as well. And you can also take a look at all those new pieces from Tierra Cast. And we have a lot of new fall inventory. So check that out too while you're on the website.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So much fun. Lots of beating fun had. And thanks for hanging with us this morning. I need another cup of coffee, I think.
I definitely do. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
We love you guys, and just have the very best day and rest of your week. And we will see you again soon. I will be back on the Softflix Company Facebook page tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific time with Kay Goss of Stars Beads, another great bead extravaganza member. And we will be making with our Foxy Lady kit that she accidentally opened early and our Peace and Love kit that she finally got in the mail. So if you have those kits, I hope you'll join us. If you don't, join us anyway. We'll have a lot of fun. And I'm sure there will be a lot of giggling. Are you coming for that, Kristen?
I don't think so. We'll see what happens. Friday might be open, but after last week and then 2 videos this week, I might sit this one out. I will definitely see you all on Monday though.
All right. Well, love to you, Kristen, and to everybody out there. We'll see you next time.